Hey friends, I want to start with a question. When was the last time you made a mistake? Maybe it was something small, like spilling coffee on your favorite shirt, or something bigger, like missing a deadline or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Whatever it was, I'm guessing it didn't feel great. But here's the truth that we so often forget. It's okay to make mistakes sometimes. Actually, it's more than okay. It's part of being human. Today, I want to dive into why mistakes are not only inevitable, but necessary for growth. We'll talk about how to shift your perspective on mistakes, why perfection is overrated, and how embracing imperfection can lead to more confidence, creativity, and fulfillment. So, let's take a deep breath and give ourselves permission to be imperfect. Ready? Let's go. 1. Why we fear making mistakes. Let's start with this. Why are we so afraid of making mistakes? For many of us, it starts early. Maybe you were told to get it right the first time, or were scolded when you didn't. Over time, we start to associate mistakes with failure, and failure with worthlessness. Society doesn't help either. We live in a world that glorifies perfection. Perfect grades, perfect bodies, perfect careers. Social media adds to the pressure, with highlight reels that make it seem like everyone else has their life together. But here's the thing. Mistakes are not the opposite of success. They're part of it. Every successful person you admire has made countless mistakes along the way. Let me ask you this. Would you rather live a safe, mistake-free life or take risks and grow through the lessons your mistakes can teach you? 2. Reframing mistakes as opportunities. Here's a mindset shift that changed everything for me. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, I started seeing them as opportunities. Think about it. Every mistake holds a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you patience, resilience, or the importance of preparation. Maybe it's showing you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. Take Thomas Edison, for example. When asked about the thousands of failed attempts he made before inventing the light bulb, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." What if we approached our mistakes with the same mindset? What if, instead of beating ourselves up, we asked, "What can I learn from this?" How to embrace your imperfections. So, how do we let go of the fear of making mistakes and start embracing our imperfections? Here are a few ideas. 1. Practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake, your first instinct might be to criticize yourself. Instead, try speaking to yourself the way you'd speak to a friend. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes, and that doesn't make you any less worthy. 2. Focus on growth, not perfection. Shift your goal from getting it right to getting better. When you focus on growth, mistakes become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. 3. Celebrate your efforts. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is try. Even if you don't get the result you wanted, celebrate the effort you put in. That's where growth happens. 4. Laugh at yourself. Mistakes don't always have to be so serious. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to laugh, learn, and let it go. 4. The beauty of imperfection. There's a Japanese concept called wabi-sabi, which is about finding beauty in imperfection. It teaches us to embrace flaws as part of the story, rather than something to hide or fix. Imagine if we applied wabi-sabi to our own lives. What if, instead of striving for perfection, we found beauty in our quirks, our scars, and our mistakes? Imperfection makes us relatable. It connects us to each other. When you're willing to share your mistakes, you create space for others to do the same. And that's where true connection happens. 5. My story of embracing mistakes. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I took on a project that I was really excited about. I poured my heart into it. But when the time came to present it, it completely flopped. The feedback was tough to hear, and I felt like I'd failed. Not just at the project, but as a person. But after some reflection, I realized that the experience wasn't a failure. It was a gift. It taught me how to handle criticism, how to adapt, and how to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Looking back, that failure was one of the most important turning points in my life. The next time you make a mistake, ask yourself, how will this help me grow? You might be surprised by the answer. 6. Giving yourself permission to mess up. One of the most freeing things you can do is give yourself permission to mess up. Write it down if you need to. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not have it all figured out. I'm learning, and that's enough. When you give yourself that permission, you take the pressure off. You open yourself up to new possibilities, new adventures, and new lessons. So, my friend, the next time you make a mistake, remember this. It's okay. You're human, and humans are beautifully imperfect. Mistakes don't define you. They shape you. They're proof that you're trying, growing, and living. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share a time when a mistake taught you something valuable, or let me know how you're learning to embrace your imperfections. Thank you for being here today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep having these honest, heart-centered conversations. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep growing.